Yo, what's going on YouTube? DeSwami here. I hope you all having a good day. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you my thought process of how I make vocal chops, specifically in future bass in this video you're going to be seeing, because I go over one of the songs I recently just put out on my SoundCloud. It's unfinished, and because I mixed it a bunch, but I never got it the way I wanted it to sound, so I gave up and just threw it on my SoundCloud because I haven't put anything on there in a while anyways. So yeah, but I thought the vocal chop idea was well executed, and I wanted to go over that because I think I could give some good pointers in this video. Originally, I just had like the chords playing the beginning of the song. I thought it sounded alright, but it sounded really empty, and a lot of the times when I want the listener to press play and instantly be hooked onto the song. So if you listen to it without anything, this is what it sounded like. So it sounds cool, but I knew there could be something. I didn't particularly want a lead line, so at that point, that's when I knew I wanted to make vocal shots for this song. So what I did is actually I still made a lead line, and this is what that sounded like. But that just became the foundation for my vocal chop melody. So basically, I knew that was going to be the rhythm for my vocal chop melody, because it's super simple as a lead line, but I know if I found the right vocal chops, then that would be like a really cool hook to the song. So once I had that established, I just got an acapella. In this case, I'm using All of My Love by Ariana Grande, because you know it's Ariana Grande vocal. Why not chop her voice up? Because it's always going to work. And then I just picked a part where she's like singing a lot in the song, and that's what you want to aim for when you're making vocal chops, is aim for a part where the singer, the vocalist, is actually hitting a lot of vowels or singing, because that's where you're gonna find like the best chops and the best notes to use in your vocal chops. Alright, so yeah, once you have that part selected, you're just gonna right click or double click and then on the audio, and then click slice at transient markers, and what that's gonna do is it's gonna slice it at points where a sound begins. So like if you notice like right here, it's not chopped at like where there's nothing. So basically, yeah, it'll just chop at each transient, or basically the beginning of a sound, ensuring that once you throw it into the sampler, it'll actually play a note or have like some kind of melodic element to it when you press a note, instead of it just being like this like air or like where nothing's happening. So yeah, once you have that, you just select it all, or you basically open another software instrument, not Addictive Keys though. You go to the EXS24 sampler, it would be down here, and then you just click on edit and just select all the vocal chops and just drag them onto this. That there'll be a blue line that appears in the window, little window, and then once that is there, you could just drag it all in and then just press OK. And once you have that, you'll have all the chops at your disposal in your instrument now. So once you like play with like the keyboard, I have to solo this as well. But I have it set to this one shot right now, and for vocal chops, I don't really like having that one shot on because I like playing multiple vocal chops at the same time. And if this one shot is on, it gives you less control because it's just gonna play the whole sample once you play the note. And so I always like turning that off, so that basically makes it easier to like play vocal chops now. Like, and you can do like stuttery stuff too. But yeah, it just gives like way more control over the chops. But you know, just experiment with both ways, see which way you actually like. Maybe you might like the one shot way, and yeah, because you don't want your chops to be overlapping or anything. Okay, so once I had that established, I went into like the vocal chop instrument that I had, and I opened up a MIDI file, and then all I did was just pick a bunch of the ones that I liked. I just browsed through the first one all the way to the last one. I basically just looked for a bunch of vowels and like ones that I thought sounded cool and that could be used into a melody. You want to aim for a lot, but not too many, because you might you might not get enough, or you might get too lost with which ones you want to use. So try to keep it minimal. But for this one, I kind of just knew which ones I wanted to once I heard them. So yeah. And because you're never gonna really play it, I mean, you could play it on your MIDI keyboard, but it's not like you're actually playing notes. So it's better to just like find the ones that you like on this MIDI instead of playing it, so that way you remember which ones they are. And then once I had that established, I just got the melody that I drew earlier, and I just copied the same rhythm. I think I just used the same vocal chop and just had it extended over, like just make sure I had the rhythm down. So like clicked on each note and filled in all the ones where I wanted it to, and that's when I started working on the melody. Except for this first part. This first part was kind of like a hook, and I wanted it to be like the listener to be drawn into the melody, and I thought like this like first part sounded pretty cool of her saying hey, because it kind of sounds like seductive, and it makes like the listener, you know, want to like listen to the rest of what she has to say. So if you listen to it, so it doesn't really match the melody that I had in my head, but I thought it sounded cool, and it, for some reason, it ended up matching the rhythm. So that's all that matters. So basically, yeah, this thing does work for like the original lead line worked as a melodic structure too, but it mainly just worked for like a rhythm, so that I knew where to put my chops down. And then basically once I had that, I just worked from left to right, working one chop at a time where I knew, or where I had the chops at, like over here and over here, and I just worked one at a time to make sure that everything sounded cohesive, always playing back from the beginning. So like working from here and just keep working and progressing until I had like a close resemblance to what I originally had with the melody. But at this point I kind of just abandoned the melody because I thought mine sounded a little different, but it still was catchy, and I think it still fit with the song pretty well. And then for the next part, I just switched it up. It's just like first part right here, I just used like different chops because I didn't want the listener to get tired of the hey, because I thought that part sounded pretty cool. And then I just added like a little stuttering effect. But and then yeah, that was basically the melody of those vocal chops. But a good thing to also practice is once you have like your MIDI set out of your vocal chops, it might be a good idea to switch it to audio. Like try to find like the chops you've used in this audio file, which might take a while, but I think sometimes it's worth it, because if you find like the chops, you might be able to find like actual phrases that you can use, because in this song I wanted there to be a part where she's actually talking and not just like a bunch of like random chops. So basically what I did is I just looked for the audio files that I used for the vocal chops, and once I found that, I just extended the last note, and for some reason something miraculous happened and everything was in time. Just listen to this. I mean, like, not perfectly on time, but I think it worked perfectly in the context of this song, because this basically created the whole entire song, or like the name of this song, the hook of this song. I feel like everything revolved around her saying this phrase, so that's why it's not always good to use the sampler. I think it's good to get down an idea down, especially if you're just using vocal chops, then maybe you can get away with just that. But if for like quality wise and using like actual words, it might be a good idea to use audio once you have the chops down. I think it's way more easier to get chops down if you're using a sampler like this, because you can match it with your MIDI and whatnot, and it's just easier to look through a bunch of chops. But once you have that, I think it's better to convert it to audio by like looking through the audio file. I know it could be tedious, but like I said, I think the payoff is worth it if you can pull it off, because you never know what might happen as per this vocal chop line. And yeah, I think that's basically all I wanted to cover in this video. So thanks for watching if you did. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. Remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and what you want to see next, what you don't want to see next, how is your day going, or whatever. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.